Mic check, mic check. Let's get you to
Oh,
mic
okay.
check. Whatever's more comfortable for you, right there.
Um,
Yeah, mic
yeah.
check.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Mic check, mic
Yeah,
check.
we're good.
All right, all right. Yep. You hear good?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Everything good? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean, oh, okay, from there. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yes, I guess the angle. Okay, that's okay. I just wanted to do the live as well. Got it? Like that?
Yeah, yeah. Because if you don't talk in it, the audience won't hear you.
Okay.
So if I ever go like this, like that, because I
Yeah.
don't like to say it, because
Yeah.
if you're saying something very important, it'll mess up. Like I don't like how the clips turn out.
Yes.
So if I go like this, that just means just go closer to the mic.
Yeah, okay.
Mic check. Yeah. And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and Facebook. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas. And right now it's just me. Ambishun had something he had to do today for some DJing. And Mal's going to be here a little bit later. You know, she comes a little bit later, but she's going to be still on the first show. But I want to remind you guys, please like and subscribe. You know, that helps us out. We already have viewers on YouTube watching right now and on Rumble. So if you guys can please like and subscribe. And today we have a very special guest in the den today. I'm going to have her introduce herself to our audience. Let them know a little bit about who you are and what you do.
All right. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Angel Rae, and I am a producer for the film industry. I came from entertainment for back in the early 90s. I started off with Disney Entertainment.
Okay.
And from that point on, I started to hit the industry in different levels with, with musicals and theater and film and television and fashion and stuff like that. So I started to go into the industry like that.
So tell us a little about Disney. So what did you start off doing with Disney?
Well, I started off when the department was very small, and we were a hair and makeup department, and we started off with getting all the performers ready for set. We would get them ready for the entertainment part of the shows with Disney and stuff like that.
What was your experience with them?
My experience, well, it was different at that time because we didn't have the second park. We were just with the original park, Disneyland. And then 5 years after that, then we went into the California Adventure park. So we became much bigger and larger in our department because the need of entertainment was more. So we were able to do a lot of shows, and it was different for me because as a Chicana, knowing that when we go into a corporate world like that, it was a little different in that time.
Yeah.
But and I'm not trying to throw no shade, but it was a little different.
Throw shade. That's what we're here for. This is a podcast. Let's go.
Yeah, right. So no, for real though.
Did you hear the click?
Yeah. So, anyways,
this is how we do it at Howls Over Baaz.
Well, what's funny is because I started off not knowing what to expect when I got there. I really didn't. My father's the one who actually encouraged me to go there and to do some wigs and do some art. And in my head, I wanted to do salon work. I just wanted to do work in a salon, work in the barbershop. Didn't even think one moment to go to Disney and to evolve in that type of setting. But it was in the 90s, and during that time, the show that was really popular at that time was the Pocahontas show.
Okay.
So the cast was all Latinos.
Okay.
So it was very different for me, and I think it was really a good time for me to come into a structure like that because throughout the years, I always kind of felt on the like almost like the black sheep when it comes to community and what you grew up with and who you grew up with, And so,
especially during that time.
Yeah.
Even in my time, it was like that. I'd go be back and forth to like white neighborhoods to Hispanic neighborhoods, and you always feel like the black sheep. But now, things are changing. I feel like the Mexicans, Chicanos are taking over.
Yes.
It's like they are like literally like taking over in so many aspects.
Yes.
But yeah, keep going. And we'll get into that more.
You know
too.
what? It is our time.
I feel like it is.
It is.
I really do.
In fact, we're long overdue.
Yeah, for sure.
Long overdue. And so, anyways, going back to Disney, when I first got there, like I said, I started doing the production with Pocahontas, and the majority of the cast was Mexicans or some form of looking like kind of native.
Hispanics, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so with that being said, of course, there was some people protesting out there because they didn't like the fact that the storyline of it, and knowing that John Smith was an adult and Pocahontas was like young.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of controversy. So
Oh.
the show didn't last very long, but it
wow.
lasted long enough to the point where people start to protest outside of Disney regarding Pocahontas and that it was wrong, and
Dang.
But we
I had no idea about this.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so we would just do our job, of course, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things we did, and we would get the cast ready for show. And actually I have a lot of great memories, with that show. And as we progressed throughout the years, I started to open up shows like at El Capitan over there on Hollywood. We're across the street from Chinese Theater. So I started to open up shows at the El Capitan. I started doing just different venues. What Disney requires when they're doing their opening of their premieres and stuff like that, of their, new animation or whatever. And each year was different, but it was all training grounds for me. So I developed a skill and a craft that I never thought I would be doing. I never even thought I would be making a living just combing wigs.
Yeah.
Never, ever did I thought that I would even buy a house just combing wigs. So
but that's big just to even get in with Disney like that, though. Like, that's not easy. Disney doesn't just take anybody. There's always, it's like so much to vet out. They vet so many people out. So you were in Disney. That's a big step, period,
Yeah, and I find it was really unique was my manager that hired me at that time. She was the main designer of the whole entire Disney World. And that was like Florida, Japan, like everyone.
So how did she see you? How did she see your work? Like,
well,
what happened?
It's funny because like I said, my dad told me, he kept encouraging me, go to Disney, and he's seen a lot of art in me, my dad. He's seen that I was very crafty. Your parents are the first person that can see the unique stuff about you, right?
Yep.
Your gifts. And it's so good when a parent can actually pull those gifts out of you, when you don't see them. And so I went, and at that time, I had a bunch of braids in my hair, like individual black braids, And I told my dad, Dad, should I go like this? And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, go like that. I go, you think I'll make the quota? And he goes, yeah. So I went.
Back then, things were different.
It was.
Just having earrings in your ears were different for guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, at Disney, they couldn't even have facial hair, the men.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying.
They were very strict. You couldn't have earrings. You can only have one ring, and your earrings had to be a certain size.
Yep.
Your hair couldn't be a certain way. And so she looks at me, and this is honest truth. She looks at me, and I went in dressed all wrong. Not Disney appropriate, So I came in with some
like a chola. No, not like a chola.
No, because I had like I said, I had a bunch of individual braids.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I had these shorts, and I had this blazer, and I had some monkey boots, like all the boots that come up, like your Doc Martens. Yeah. So I don't know why I thought I was cute. So I went in there, and I remember she just looked at me. She was like, okay, well, I just want to bring this. And she had me do a test. You literally have to look at a picture of a look, and you have, without knowing how to work on wigs, first time ever, anybody that goes in there, and they have a documentation, and they said, I want you to put this into character.
And what did you do?
I had to comb it into character. And I literally had to comb a wig and bring it up. And it was an old Gibson wig, like back in the, I don't know what year that was, but it was a Gibson. It was called a Gibson wig. And it's an era time. So I had to bring it into character. So she checked it out. She looked at it from back to front to side, everything, to see what kind of, if I was clean with my work. So then when I was done, she called me to the area, and she goes, okay. She goes, well, I really love your work, she said. Real sweet lady. And she goes, but I don't know. Let me talk about your dress code, though. She did. And for once, I felt like, oh, my God, like my blood's just rushing through me thinking, oh, my God, am I going to get this?
How old were you?
In my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in my 20s, in my mid-20s when I got this job. Yeah, as I said, I thought I was all cute, I had my braids on like poetic justice,
Okay, all right. Now I get the visual.
Yeah, and then I had like a some type of derby or something on my head, I just thought I was cute, okay? So then afterwards, I go over there, and she turns around, and she goes, those, your boots, that's not Disney code. So you can't wear those kind of boots if you are going to be able, to work here. And she goes, and when it comes to shorts, they have to be, if you're going to wear them, they have to be below your knee or an inch above your
Who
knee.
wants to see that?
Yeah,
I'm just
you
playing.
know,
I'm just
you know
playing.
what I mean? That good. Then she meant by skirts too,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
every way. And she goes, "But the blazer's fine." She goes, "Your hair." She looked at my hair. She goes, "I think you have to wear your hair, and it has to be your ethnic." I was like, God, like, how would she know if I wasn't?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, these things occur on a corporation level where managers have to put themselves in a position to, basically kind of call out something that you really
Yeah.
don't know. Because how many of us are all in when we check our, now today with our, DNA, we find out we're, a certain ethnic group, correct?
Yeah.
Like I found out after taking my dad had Jewish in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't even know my dad.
So-
As far as getting a Jew, my mom used to call him a Jew. That was it because he was so tight. But other than that, I didn't know he had Jewish in him.
That's where the money keeps flowing to you.
Right? the blessing for me. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Touch not me. No, but my mom used to say that. She says, "Oh, he's such a Jew," and I used to just like. And little did I know that he did have some Jewish in him. So, I mean, we don't know what our ethnic background is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my experience. And next thing you know, she was, "Well, I'll give you a call." And I thought I really blew it. I thought just by my dress code, I thought, okay, I blew
But
it.
your work was good enough where she was like, I need this girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And until this day, we are the best of friends.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
We are the best of friends. And I visit her once a month. And yeah,
She's still working for Disney and all that?
No, during COVID, they laid her off, but she had been there for
Long time.
40, about 45 years.
Wow.
45 years. She goes, during COVID, when everybody, even myself, in 2020, they let go over 800,000 employees. And the ones that stood there, that had been there the longest, were the ones that pretty much got exit out. A lot of them. That anybody that been over there, like over 25 to 30 years or more.
That's cool because they were making the most money probably because,
Well, you're not. Because even that's why I tell people, people say, oh, I had mentioned this not long ago. I said, I stayed in Disney not because of the money. Not because of the money, because I was when I first started, I was making like $8.60 as a professional hairstylist and makeup artist. And so I wasn't there for the money. I was there because of the passion of the art. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because one thing about when you're in a place, the old saying is like, what you love, what you do, you're not working, or something like that.
Yeah.
That you do what you can or you do the job you do. It's not all times because of the money. It's because you really do love it. And it's not like you're working. I mean, God, I would go in there, and I don't even know how many Snow Whites I've done. I don't know how many Bow Balls or Jasmines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For years and years, it's countless wigs a day.
So you got laid off during that time too? Then?
Yes.
So from there, what did you do from there?
What did I do from?
Like after you got laid off, cause I know because now you're in production and doing stuff like that now. So what did you do from there? Like how did you take that transition to go to there?
Well, I think what happened was I was confused of what was taking place because it was during COVID, it was during quarantine. Disney never ever shut down in all the years I've been there. So it was really hard for me to comprehend. I felt like I was in a twilight zone. Like thinking, really? I go, this is serious. If Disney's shutting down, this is serious. Because Disney don't shut down.
Yeah.
They're 24/7, 7 days a week. And so all I could think of was like, what do I do? So being that I was exit out and stuff like that, it took me about maybe 7 months. I had thought about a lot of things and called the corporate to find out about my pension, find out about things. And my pension wasn't that much. And that's when I realized why people stood so long with Disney, because that's a lot of years that people will stay, but they have to. They don't get paid big enough. They don't get paid, at least the hourlies don't.
Mm-hmm.
Hourlies don't get paid very well. And so it made sense why they stood 35, 40, 45 years. It makes sense because if you look at your pension, you're like, I can't live off of that.
Yeah.
So basically what I did was I was under pressure at that time. I had already was doing a production. I was told by a prophet that I would write and produce a movie. And that was in 2017. When he told me this, I already knew what story to tell. I already knew whose story it was to tell. Now, I never produced a movie, I never did anything like that. But I was always behind the scenes when it came to film, and as a hair and makeup artist, getting instruction by the producer or, the casting director, things that we need to do when we have to put someone into character. So with that being said, I decided to fund Sam's Cry with my pension. That's exactly what I did.
Sam's Cry.
Yeah, that's the movie that I just produced. It's streaming right now on Chicano Hollywood. And just have to link to their bio right now. It's on Chicano Hollywood.
Shout out to Chicano Hollywood.
Yeah.
We had Johnny in the house over here, so shout out to him.
Yes. Yes. So it's streaming on Chicano Hollywood right now, and we just finished it in we had our premiere in 2024, but with the fact that we went through COVID and there was no finances, no donations, nothing. There was nothing I could do because 2020 was quarantine, right? Couldn't have no venues, couldn't be out in any venue. And we had a few venues like all lined up with comedians and, talented artists to help us fund the movie, but it just didn't happen because of COVID.
Okay.
So then in 2021, when they finally lifted it, by that time, I did some filming, but I went and invested in myself. I went to take up another course of some type of trade so that I was going to be okay, because now at this point I knew I was not going back to Disney. So, however, with that, I think everything under the sun has purpose. So what was taking place is that, I felt like God was using me to go ahead and do this movie, Sam's Cries. It's based on a true story. And so I was
going to say, talk about that a little bit. Tell us about that movie.
Okay. Sam is a young boy who grew up in a domestic violence home. And his mother was a gospel singer, and she went all over in ministry. But her husband was an entertainer. And her husband was an entertainer for he was a singer. And he was a well-known singer in his time, and he would open up for Malo and open up for B.B. King. He would open up for Little Willie G and the Midnighters and different types of bands and back in that time. So there was always conflict between her and him, and there was always some domestic violence involved. And Sam grew up watching all that, and so eventually in time, it stunted his growth mentally, or just a lot of things it does. People don't even realize that domestic violence can really hurt children, and it could be a hindrance to the development of their brain and the development of who they are. It stunts their growth. It stunts everything about them. It really does. Their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about life. And, so he was struggling, and eventually Judy, which is his mom, ended up getting a form of separation and stuff. But anyways, going forward, Sam's story is based on an injustice that took place in 1999. And he was suffering from mental health. He was suffering from PTSD. He also was suffering from other forms of mental health issues as well. And so he made a bad choice, like I said, at a young age. And he was looking at 14 years or 25 years to life or something like that for something. And like I said, you got to watch the movie. But he ends up coming out, and then there was an altercation between him and his dad that he hadn't seen for almost 14 years. And so then it became a problem. And they didn't know how to adjust with him because he had been gone so long. He was gone since he was 14 years old. And he was gone all the way until he was in his late 20s in the youth authority. So a lot happened in the youth authority in the 90s. There was a lot of corruption, a lot of things that were taking place. And even up today, there's a lot of lawsuits today regarding all that. And so we did some stories that came from that, what he had to endure during the youth authority. And basically, just like I said, what when a person goes through post-trauma, PTSD, and what it does to trigger you in just in everyday life. People go through things, and if they've been traumatized, something as small can literally trigger someone off. Whether it be a smell or someone said something, or it could be anything that can trigger someone with PTSD, and that's where Sam was at in his life.
And what made you want to write this story and produce this story? Because do you have like because it seems like your heart's in this.
Well, I've known Judy since I was 15. I met her years ago. She was my mentor. I knew Sam. I was only like 4 or 5 years older than him. During the time when this happened in 1999, we brought it to a person that I knew that did films. And because I've been, like I said, since I was with Disney. And in 2000, I think it was 2001, I brought it up to one of the guys that I knew at Disney who was a filmmaker. And I told him about it, but he just didn't really have an interest in it. And so we put it back on, on the back burner, didn't bother with it. During that time, we were doing a lot of protesting, to the federal. Sam's story actually made 2 laws, established 2 laws.
What were the laws?
Regarding like a restraint on certain restraints, and also another restraint when you're in the facility that they can't use as well. And so, and I don't know the numbers of them, but I know that they're in the film and the editing, or the credits, that's where all the numbers are there. And during that time, which was very interesting, is that Judy's husband, his name is Robert Salas, that's what his name. And he was very good friends with Danny Trejo. And Danny Trejo was yes, he was there protesting with us as well for Sam. And he was there, and because him and Robert were very, very good friends back in the days when in the prison time.
Yeah.
They were very close in prison. And so Robert asked Danny to come out. Danny was there supporting the whole event on the injustice of Sam, of what took place with him in the system. So what happened was, it had been sitting on the shelf for a long time, for the very long time. Like I said, like 2002, because it happened in 1999. But we fought the federal and the state on the injustice of it. So we went 3 years fighting till we finally came to, the situation where we settled everything. And so, anyways, going forward, it just rested from that day forward. It wasn't until I think it was, when was it? As in 2017, as I said, there was a person that went into my messenger. And at that time, all I was involved in is ministry at that time. And so there was nothing I was posting that related to entertainment, because I was so involved in ministry, because I had got ordained as a minister. So I was just kind of taking off with that and developing a boys' home. I was trying to open up a boys' home at that time for transition from children that come in out of foster care, so they can have somewhere to go. Anyways, going forward, this prophet had prophesied over me and said that the Lord showed him that I was gonna write and produce a movie, and for me to go pray about it and see what the Lord shows you. And he goes, all I know is that it's gonna cause some waves. And I'm like, so anyways, when he said that, like instantly I knew whose story it was, because we had pitched the story of Sam to one of my friends named Roy from Disney. And so it turns out that I just knew in my heart it was his story. And then what came to me, because I was talking to God about it, I said, I don't understand, where am I going to get the money? You know what I mean? Like, how do I go about this? And this was in 2017. This is way before COVID, way before COVID. So I was still at Disney, still thinking like, how's this going to happen? How, and I prayed, and then I asked God if that was what he wanted me to do. And before you know it, the Lord gave me the scripture, and he brought me back to remembrance of Cain and Abel. And I was like what, Lord? Like Cain and Abel.
Yeah, so I'm like wondering how did that one work out? Because
when the Lord showed me that, when God had spoke to Cain and said, where's your brother? And he said, well, I'm not my brother's keeper. He goes, well, then why does his blood cry out from the grave? And then the Lord hit me and said, that's Sam. He's crying from the grave so his story can be told. And I just went, oh, Lord. And that's why I called it Sam's Cry.
Whoa. That's a cool name for like what you went through.
Yeah. So
that's poetic.
Yeah.
How you named it that.
Sam's Cry. Because of the fact that the Lord brought me about Cain and Abel. and being that Sam's life was unjustly, you know, killed. He was killed. So and so because of that happened, I believe that he's been crying from the grave, and God heard him, and God's like, I want you to tell a story. I want the people to know what happened. And do you know, in that time when I was starting to do the production in 2020 during COVID, the whole situation with George Floyd happened with he couldn't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sam said it in 1999, I can't breathe. That's exactly what his words were
really?
in 1990. Oh yeah, 1999. We have all the posters, all the protesting during that time, all our posters, what it was said, and we were. It was the same thing. It was the same situation. Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah, and it was weird because that's when we were doing our like little podcasts about his story, and that we were going to come out and share his life story, and that it's history. It's definitely history for our people to understand what things happen, and that people will find a way to peacefully protest. Peacefully protest, because that's what we did. We peacefully protested what took place. We were at every corner of any hospital, or we were at like the federal buildings, taking over the corners and just going around and doing whatever we could.
So how did you come up with the money to do this movie?
My pension.
Oh, wow.
That's what I told you. I was like, I didn't know whether to do it. I honestly didn't. And the movie costed a lot. People don't even realize that. I don't know where people think that where people get money to make a movie.
Yeah. And then who did you talk to? That you talked to Chicano Hollywood? How did you get in contact
No,
with
I didn't
them?
even know Chicano Hollywood at that time. I didn't
Okay.
even know who he
So
was.
you were already making the movie before you even met them.
Yes.
Okay, so then take us down the road of how that whole thing clicked in.
Well, because I have done filming for quite some time, like I said, people would hire me as a hair and makeup artist or special effects, because that's what I would do, whether they need gunshot wounds or slashes or cover up.
So you can even do all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I
Like
do.
you can make someone look like a werewolf. Or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
remember I showed you about the bird double?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could actually do all those things.
Wow.
I got to see some of my work, but yeah. I was doing so what I would do is, like, I met a lot of film directors and producers, mostly producers, of course, and the producers would always ask me, oh, could you do this for us and this and that. And a lot of times, because I would feel I'm a person, I'm for the underdog. I don't know what it is, and I still haven't learned about that. But anyways, and so I'm always like,
Well, maybe it's because you've been the underdog.
yeah,
It's like being in that world that you were in. Your nationality made you an underdog. It's just the way it kind of goes, and I understand that. So like being the underdog and being looked at a certain way, you're not. I don't even feel like an underdog. But when you walk in there, they automatically make you feel like that.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yes,
Like,
yes.
but it's like we said earlier, it's our time. I feel like
Oh yeah.
it's literally our time.
Yes.
You know?
I was doing a show, and I'm glad you brought this up, and it's going to be off the topic, but I did a show in 2023 with Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar and her husband, right? We did she was doing a musical of all her music on the track, And so my whole point why I was saying this was because, there was this guy who was doing his hair, and he was Mexican, and I was grooming it, doing barbering, because I have to do barbering too behind theater as well. So I was cutting his hair, and we were just talking about all that, and I go, it's our time now. It is our time. And he also said same thing. He's, we're so long overdue. I go, we
For real.
are.
You know what's crazy? I feel like so many nationalities had their time, and it's like ours just never came.
I know.
You know that almost all the characters in The Chosen are all Hispanics.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either till you came here, and then I've been talking to a lot of them through social media, and they're all Hispanics. Almost all of them. There's like maybe a couple Indians and stuff in there, but they're almost all Hispanics.
Oh wow.
I was like, what? I didn't know that. I literally thought they were like Middle Eastern or something like that, but they're not.
Well, there's a hunger. There's a hunger in the art. There is definitely a hunger in the art. And what I found is that, because I had opened up a nonprofit, it's called Cultura Art Productions. And what it is, it's healing through entertainment and the art. And I noticed when I was with Disney, I would go through so much, but my craft was my art. My craft, it was therapeutic. For me, it was therapeutic. So
That's a lot of people's craft. I feel like it's therapeutic for them.
Yes. So when anybody that does anything in the art, it brings some torp of a healing inside of us. It really does. And I think that's why people love the art. I say art, and there's a time where even today through children's services, they're utilizing art for therapy for children. So it's real important that we understand that what art does for us. To me, it's a form of worship. It really is. You think about singing, dancing, all that is a form of worship. It's healing.
Yeah, I like that. And nobody's ever said that in here. And I mean, it makes all the sense in the world when you say it, but like if nobody says it, you don't realize it, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, art is therapeutic.
Yes.
And I think you're right on that. It is a form of healing. I feel like working out and art and all that kind of stuff, like that can actually, because people aren't really doing that as much anymore. You don't see a lot of artists, or like things are just not the same when it comes to music, when it comes to anything. I feel like a lot of people are just relying on like anything digital or something like that. They're not really putting a lot of art and like their craft into something.
Yes.
And it's kind of crazy, but I feel like it is kind of coming back recently. But I feel like it was just machines before. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. It's just everything's been a little different.
Oh yeah. I mean, because we advanced in technology, so you go through like cutting corners.
Yeah.
You take shortcuts.
And then you're able to make your own movie because we're able to do whatever we want with technology too right now. So your stuff can be seen.
Yes.
It won't just get cut off like before. Like in the 90s, you just couldn't happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But now it's like, hey, anybody can show their art to anybody now.
Yeah. Exactly. And so it's like we were talking about this the other day about one of the movies, I believe it was Blood In, Blood Out, that Disney has. It's in their vault. And they don't show it. But we don't know why.
Yeah.
Right. And there's things that won't be shown a lot of times. And I feel like sometimes even me being in the union, I'm in Union 706. And there's sometimes I get a little stickler. I'm not going to lie. I get a little upset because I'm like, why is it all those people get to get those jobs and I can't?
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of them hit some really good budget jobs, like big ones.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys are keeping me from really growing. I've been in the union since like 2005. I joined the union. And I have not yet been on the roster. And then every time I tell them, wow, how do I get on roster? They said, it's a catch-22. And then they said, the only way you can do it is if you get a waiver, okay? A waiver to do specialize in someone's hair. And I go, okay. So then I go, so if I actually do a movie and I do this person's hair, you're going to grant me my roster hours? And they go, well, oh, this and this. And they're just kind of making up all these stories to keep me away from getting my roster. And that bothers me because I've been paying union dues for so long. And some people who've only been in the union for like 5 years are already on roster doing huge, huge films. And here I am still waiting in line. And I get upset about that. And I said, I don't care. One way or another, I'm going to get on the roster, even if I have to make my own movie and put me on my hairstyle.
That's the thing. Is people have to put their own money up. We got to do all our stuff for our voices or our art to be seen.
Yes.
It's just the way it is.
Yes.
And to be honest, it is better at the end that way.
Yes.
But it's just hard to do it.
Yes.
Because it is your money going up.
Yeah.
Like even with the podcast, I put all my money up.
Yes.
Yes. And it's do or die. That's how I look at it. Like I have no choice but to make it work. And I think that's how you felt, right? Like you're just like, you had to take money out where this can affect your future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? I look at it a different way because when I seen how much it was and how long it would, I said to myself, I better take it out now then because it's not as much as I thought it was. My pension. It was not as much because like I said, it's all based on what your hourly wage is.
Yeah.
Okay. So then when your hourly wage is pretty low and you can't be able to do that, there's no way that you can. So I looked at it in the long term. I said, well, the longevity is that I produced a movie. The longevity is that, my grandson's in it too. I casted my grandson in it. So the longevity is that I left a legacy for my kids and my family. Do you know what I mean? To me, that meant a lot more than my pension because as a hairdresser, the amount of money I would have got monthly, I might as well just go do a couple days in the salon and I'll make it, which is 2 days in the salon with that.
Wow.
Yeah. So to me, it's like I don't need all that. I'm just gonna go back. In fact, I'm already gonna go back into the studio with my daughter. My daughter has a barbershop in Beverly Hills, and I'm gonna go do. She's gonna let me do the one studio area for for my services
Yeah.
as well. So
Like, I want to ask you about the monster makeup and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, how are you doing that right now for other like any industries or movies or anything like that?
no, actually, the last time I did anything was in 2013 when I was assisting one of my friends with the one night in the museum with Ben Stiller.
Oh, you did that one?
I did his dreads, yeah, but
Oh.
I didn't do no makeup, but I did his dreads.
Okay.
But when it comes to people, they'll ask me, "Hey, can you do this for me, or can you do that?" And like the last one with Myrna, that one
That was insane.
yeah,
That-
it didn't
that-
even look like her.
No.
Yeah, that one was in actually that one was in 2016. That was the last one that I did as far as no, actually I did a couple more after that too. I'm sorry, yeah, I did.
You haven't tried to get in more like in like even horror movies and things like that.
No, and the reason why is because in the union, because I'm in union, you have to do one or the other. You can't do
Oh.
makeup and you can't do hair together. You have to choose between you're going to do makeup or you're going to do hair. And to me was to do hair. And I can go ahead and request to transfer, but I still prefer to do hair.
Okay.
Because on the long run, I can always do independent film with makeup. I can do bullet wounds, slash wounds, burns.
Well, what you did with the Myrna was so different, though. That's way more than just a bullet wound and things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that was a transformation.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? So how did you get into that? How did you start? You just start practicing? I mean, what did you do?
No, I because with Disney we used to do a lot of different things during
Okay.
Halloween. And during Halloween we would do a lot of stuff or just in general like with other people that I would connect with. Like the Latin show. Have you seen the Latin show back in over there in California?
Oh, Mike, we got to get her mic on.
Anyway, so I did the genie makeup. I did the genie makeup for about a year. I was chosen to do his makeup at that time with all the prosthetics and stuff, and airbrush and stuff. But I picked up airbrush because my dad used to do a lot of. My dad used to do lowriders. So
Okay.
he used to have the compressor, and he would all, So I
Yeah.
think I picked up the art and just watching how to do the compressor. So we used to just do a lot of airbrushing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the genie requires a lot of airbrush to like
Yeah.
the full body,
Well,
right?
no, actually, that's a bodysuit. It was just the upper.
But like the hands, or did they have
that was
gloves too?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
mhm. So
wow.
it's just it took us like we were under contract that we had to do his makeup, his whole full on makeup with prosthetics, ears, nose, everything, chin.
Yeah.
It had to be like with an hour and 10 minutes, no longer than that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we really had to get that stuff on there and airbrush them and everything. Yeah.
So are you working on any projects right now?
The only project I'm working on right now as a producer is Hill Street Heist, which is another movie that I'm working on.
Is it your movie or somebody else's?
No, it's my movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look
Is
at
that your
you.
is that your first big project, or
No, that's
like
my
for
second
for
one.
your own?
No,
for yourself?
my second one.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I know
Sam's Cry.
my first one was Sam's Cry, and that's already been streaming with Chicano Hollywood.
Nice.
And yeah, he has the bio and the link on his
On his
streaming.
one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch that
it's
thing.
called Sam's Cry, and the next one is Hill Street High. That's the one I was sharing
Yes,
with you,
yeah.
and that one's based on a true story as well.
Okay, tell me a
Is
little
that
about
like a
that one.
biography true story, or like
Yeah.
someone else's true story?
It's someone else's story.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's about someone else's story, and I had shared a little video to remind them of what they used to be at one time. It was just a clip. It was no big deal. And he
Yeah.
said, "Congratulations on your next project." And I was just
Ah.
like, "Really? You're gonna let me tell your story?" He goes, "Yeah." And I said,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell that story, and it's based on a true story as well. It's more drama, more action. It's way different.
Now, how long does something like that take, like over time, like from beginning to when it hits like the big screen?
Every production's different on the requirement, and this is where people don't understand about film. When it comes to a project, it all depends on the budget first and most, because if it's a, certain, of course, when you have like $1 million for a movie,
Mhm.
which I wish they would put away for us Latinos, you know?
Yeah, especially right now. Right?
I mean, they would come up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many Latinos would stay home and watch TV?
Literally. Would
They
be
do,
working.
they do anyways, right? Or maybe they don't have a TV. That's why they got a lot of kids, you know?
Keep them busy. Busy one way or another, right?
I know. So anyway, so what happened was when it comes to our production, it's all different based on the size and the amount of actors, the amount of what's required, location, you name it. Location, actors, who's the actor, how much is that actor is gonna, you know what I mean? Everything is different. It's not the same. And especially when you got actors like okay, in our community, you know, got a lot of Chicano actors that not have hit the platform in Hollywood. They're passionate about the art of acting, and when they're not called for movies and they're called is to be a gangbanger or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of that.
Yeah.
And the reason why, because our kids are watching, and our kids, all they can think of is it's like kind of they said like when you're brainwashing someone. So many times that they see it and they see it and they see it and they're like, wow, that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
There's an agenda for everything.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Oh yeah. They're just, you know, yeah.
Well, they've said that about music too. Music and television are the biggest like platforms for
News,
brainwashing
all that.
like anyone that's stuck to it, because then they see it, they idolize it, they think that, oh, that's the glamorous life that I want to have.
Yeah.
And it's not reality. It's just, you know, a movie. Some like some movies, if it's a true story, bits and pieces are true, not the whole thing. And that's what I think the viewers and, you know, as people on the outside looking in don't really, see a lot, you know.
I used to get frustrated when I would see certain things and it would bother me. And it's like, you're portraying maybe a tenth of us, maybe, but that not all of us are. We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have dentists, a lot of dentists, a lot of Mexican dentists.
Yep.
What would you want to see with the Hispanic community honestly in the movie industry and in any industry, entertainment industry moving up? What would you personally want to see?
I would like to see a lot more diverse. I'm for diversity. I'm not just for Mexicans. I want to see everybody in the melting pot of a movie.
Yeah.
I grew up where all I seen was like the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family, and they could never relate to what I went through and what I've been through. They had a perfect family. They had everything was perfect. And not in our house. Not in my house. I mean, there was a lot going on in our house, and it was not like that.
Right.
My dad slept on the couch sometimes. You know? Like, they didn't sleep in the same bed half the times, you know, because they were mad at each other or whatever. You know what I mean? Or my dad didn't come home after poker night. You know, he was too drunk and lost his money and didn't want to come home. You know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like and. You watch the Partridge Family or the Brady Bunch and everything's just so nice and crisp and clean, and with the maid. Like we didn't have no maid.
Mom was the maid.
Or the kids were.
Or the kids.
Or the kids.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, my mom was saying, "Oh, go change the channel." I'm like, "What's her channel changer?" No, but you know, I would like to see more diversity. It's not so much that we want to stay in a like stagnant with just us Mexicans. I love my culture. Don't get me wrong. I love my culture. I would love our culture to grasp that, but I would love for us to switch up the game, you know, when it comes to the dialogue or the storyline of a movie.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really important for our children to grow up to have more of a, you know, just more of an example of a good example. I mean, because like when we talk about it, things, when I look at everything in statistics, like I said about Sam at that time when I was doing his story, I mean, I was looking at the statistics of like 68% are Latinos in prison. It's like, why?
And I think it's cool to be in prison too.
Oh yeah, they make
cool.
it. It's like like if it is, and it's not, because there's, especially in this time right now, it's the worst.
Or not that it's cool. I think sometimes people get stuck in it and they think that's all that they can do, or that because that's all they know. You know what I mean? So they think, oh, this is it for me. You know, and it's it's stories like you have to portray them getting out of it and that other side of the life that they can be on. That's always where I like to watch certain dialogues and movies with Hispanics and especially Hispanic men.
No, I don't mind the funny part of it because I love Frankie Quinones. I like when he portrays Joe.
Yeah,
he cracks me up. But stuff like that I could see when it becomes like a funny type, kind of like a Friday. It's like funny. But when you make it into more of a and it is a lifestyle.
Right.
That's just it. It is a lifestyle, and that is someone's story out there.
Right. Right.
But we all know that for like the last few years, it's coming back, but Cholos disappeared for a lot of years.
I know.
And it's like, why are you still writing stories about Cholos? They're God. They're big God. They're making a comeback now, but they're not real.
But they're coming back by cosplay, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not real Cholos. They're not really in the streets like that. So they're just doing it to dance and for a culture thing now.
Yes.
You know, so it's like you're still making us gangsters, and that's not even how it is anymore. You know?
Yeah, it's changed.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I grew up because my brothers, they were active. My brothers were very active.
That's how we know she's real. Because they're active.
They were active. Oh my God, no kidding. They brought so much trouble to my mom's house where they would. Our house used to be a target. They used to shoot at our house. I used to be crawling on the floor to the back room. With all the it was more like da 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 da.
Yeah.
It was more of that type of stuff. But yeah, it was awful, and I have PTSD behind that. But at the same time, though, I can remember even back then that we used to have a store. It was a surplus store. And everybody used to go get their Dickies and their khakis there. Everything there.
The indoor, the Fontana indoor, and the
yeah.
Ben Davis.
Kind of like that. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, ours was right there. It was in Norwalk. And so my brothers, if my mom didn't buy me clothes, my brother was over there, taking a bunch. He would wear a big old khaki jacket or whatever, those big old trenches, and throw a couple of khakis in. And he'd come back and bring me a bunch of pants. I'm like, oh my God. And I couldn't. My mom would get mad because she's like, I don't want her to be a cholo, but they were cholos.
Yeah.
And they would try to make me a chola. And I'm like,
How did you get connected with Chicano Hollywood? Was that with your first project, Sam's Cry?
No, he asked me the same question.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I didn't meet him till after, maybe I met him 2 years after. Already, I was already 2 years into the production. It took me 3 years to make the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so, but to complete it and have a premiere, it was 20, 21, 23. Yeah, 3 years. And then the end of 23. And then we had the premiere in 24. So it can take, some movies, if you look up on the history on some of them, they take long. Even like Titanic, it took him a long time to the point where he was so much invested that they said that he got real depressed that he couldn't finish it.
Oh, no. That's crazy.
And it can probably put you into depression because you're like, I went in this deep and now I can't finish. I ran out of money. What
No
do I
pun
do?
intended.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The deep part. I can't with you.
So,
man.
So then, you're right. So and there's another movie too that I know that took a long time too. I believe was I was 10 years too. Was oh my God, Coming to America.
Oh, I love that movie
with
Eddie Murphy.
No, not Coming to America. Once Upon a Time in America.
Which
Once Upon a Time in America.
I've
Hollywood?
heard of
Once Upon a
that
Time
one.
in Hollywood, you mean?
No, Once Upon a
Which
Time
one
in
was that
America
one?
with Robert De Niro back in the days with bootlegging of wine.
I know what you're talking
It was
about.
4 hours, but that's one of the
Yeah.
best movies. But that one took about over 10 years too.
Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine?
That's crazy.
And that's the thing when you're making a movie too. It's like okay, I'll use it for Sam's Cry. My grandson took the role of little Sam, young,
Okay.
but he always looked young for his age. And I go, we got to get him out. We got to get all his scenes out now
Yeah.
before he grows up. And then next thing you know it, boom, he grew up. And it was like, oh my God. And then we got to use him at the 14-year-old because of certain things that didn't come out. So we had to use him for the 14-year-old too. But he looked way older than his younger. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
yeah.
some things like that happen, where you got to really be strategic when you're going to make a movie about age and about the process and how long.
Timeline.
Yes. And then I was a type of person, if I had an actor, I had one actor that's in Sam's Cry, I said, no, let him shoot all his scenes all in one day, because I didn't want to pay him another day because it was too much. You know what I mean? So you have to think about, you have to strategically think, how am I going to do this, you know, without it costing so much money. And, you know, and I don't know, it's not really that you're trying to cut corners, but you're trying to do everything you can to spare your money and, you know,
Make it stretch kind of.
Yeah. Well, you have to, because if you don't have no investors, you don't have no donators.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it adds up too.
It's all your money. And so you're going to have to like find ways to like really stretch it out and make the best of it. Yeah. So I had that.
So all your mind is in right now is the next project you're working on right now.
Right now. Yes.
So that's where everything's at. Your heart's at, everything.
Right now, that's where I'm at right now with this
How long have you been into this one?
We just got done signing contracts in April.
Okay.
April 19th. We had a big cast. All the cast came from San Diego.
Wow.
And they're very excited because, you know, they're so far from Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
They're so far from getting close to any kind of like, you know, out here. Because most of all your filming is out here.
Yeah.
And so, but they are just so excited right now being a part of this film.
That's awesome.
When do you start filming?
We you
already started filming.
We already started filming.
Okay. How long have you been filming then?
We just did our first film day. It was like on just recently.
Okay.
I think it was in April actually.
Okay.
And then we have another film day coming up at the end of the month. And then we're going to stop and then we're going to come back next year because I got to go talk to, this time I got some investors.
Nice.
This time I got some investors. This time I got some sponsors. This time I got a nonprofit too.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
again, my nonprofit is Contura Art Productions. And so it's a nonprofit, 501c3. So, you know, if anybody wants to donate, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And so, and everything is going right back into the community. That's the whole purpose of using Contura Art Production is to basically navigate the arts and bringing people on board that have a desire and a passion to be a part of a film. And most of all your artists is like your rap artists, singers and stuff. They some of them are actors too. They're not just singers, but they're actors too. Comedians too. They're not just comedians, but they're actors as well. So a lot of them are crossing over, doing filming and coming into movies, which is good.
Yeah.
I think it's very good.
Yeah.
You know, and so because we are for the community, for our people to grow, and like I said, it's diverse because Hill Street Heist, I have a diverse. I have Filipinos in there. I have Asians. I have, I forgot. Everybody.
Yeah.
I have everybody. Yeah. I have blacks. I have whites. I have everybody in there. It's diverse.
Yeah.
It's
Because
all
a lot of
diverse.
movies they usually stick to one nationality almost.
And it's not good.
I don't think that's good either. It's always like, dude, really?
Yeah, and the thing is, you block yourself from really growing, and I'll tell you why. Because most streamings, they want diversity. They already have it. Like that's where their mind is now. Because in my union, that's what they're calling it. Like, you know, the diversity stuff. So to them is like they been going on about this for a long time, from way back. And so have you noticed, like the Mayans, look at them. They had diversity with their diversity that they had, even though there was Latinos, but they had also disabled people. They had, Down syndrome, and then they had the dwarf, or they're not disabled, but they're in the community they think they are, right, or whatever. So they're saying that they want diversity now, even when it comes to
mobility.
Yes,
impairments.
yes, exactly, and it's supposed to be 35% diversity. So if you go pitch a film and you go pitch a film and to stream it into a distribution, they're gonna watch it to see, do you have diversity?
And that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, and if you don't have no diversity, they can put you back on the shelf.
Because a lot of people, I think, you hear diversity and they think just by race, or nationality. Like
no diversity.
They don't think like, oh, certain like
groups.
Yeah.
Communities. Yeah, everything. Everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't think all these communities, but see, they're trying to like force things in too.
Yeah,
that's where it gets a little tricky too.
Oh yeah, I had that experience already. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I know.
It's like chill, bro. You know what I mean? It ain't happening.
Well, can I tell you? Well, maybe
tell me. Go ahead. Say it. Yeah.
Well, I'm not used to the community when we started to go into the trans.
Yeah. Me neither. I'm not trying to get used to it either.
Okay, so let me tell you my experience. Okay, before I left Disney, and no lie, I'm not even kidding. Disney is, has been all the time in that form of diverse. Okay, I've worked among a lot of different communities.
Yeah.
I mean, I have for many years, and there's a lot of community that I respect them. On an individual basis. As long as they don't disrespect me, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But anyways, one time I went to the bathroom, into the women's locker room. I wasn't ready for this. I really wasn't. And I go to the restroom, and then I come out of the restroom, and there's mirrors that go all the way around. Like the mirror, if you look in the mirror, it'll bounce off the other mirror. You can see anybody on the other mirror. So I went to go touch up my hair in the mirror, and I see this guy literally, and he's putting on his wig.
No.
And I went, I got so scared. I got scared.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to
That's
think.
ridiculous.
No, but to me, I felt so like violated. Like, I'm not saying that. To me, I felt like, what if there's some people they're just lying about it?
Yeah, play that one thing. Get some help.
Oh my God.
Play that one.
Stop it. Get some help.
That's what they need.
For reals. And then I start
For
thinking,
real.
for real. Like I was thinking, I go, man, what if he went by the stall and was watching me?
Oh yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
I mean, because us women, we think deep too. Like we're not like, I'm being real from a woman's point. Like I'm wondering, are you peeking through the cracks? Are you
Low key,
are
they're
you
already weirdos, so yeah, they're probably doing some weird stuff.
creeping, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, kinda
yeah.
creepy
You never know. And then there could be people, like you said,
that
pretending.
was my
and
first
it's just
time
like,
I've ever experienced it. All the years I've been here, I never had that problem until that day, and I just thought, oh my God, like I just couldn't believe it. I hope you could edit that face of mine. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I was like, I was shocked.
Every time I go to the theater out here, there's always some going in the girls' restroom. But luckily, I never have my daughter with me when I go there. Because if I did, I swear I'd pull them right out. I would flip. I'd be like, nah. I go, if my daughter was with me right now, I always pay attention when she goes in. We stand by the door. If I was to see any of them come out or go in, wrap.
Exactly.
It'd be a wrap. I would literally do something, and I'd have to run out that place because that's not happening. Like,
See?
And they're always going in every single time I'm there. Except for when I have my daughter, for some reason, I have not ran into it.
See?
I'm like, dude, how are these people okay with it? They're like, some of them are giants too. Walking
He was
in.
that guy was big. He was
I'm like,
really
dude,
big.
this is crazy.
And I seen his whole back, just in the very, and then
He's all,
buff.
he was buffed, and all of a sudden I see his back on the mirror, and then I was like, because I had to take a second look, like, what's this dude doing in the bathroom? And it wasn't until he put his wig on that I realized, oh, he's trans. He just threw his wig on, and he's all, and I was like, look at,
gosh.
and I walked out so creeped out.
I don't play that make believe.
Yeah.
So they can play it all they want, but when they start like putting my family in make believe, nah.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a
It's
different
always
game.
it's always nerve wracking too, especially because if you're not around it a lot, you don't really know what to expect, and it's just kind of like it throws you off.
But they want to make you feel comfortable with it.
Well, that's what
That's
I'm
not gonna
saying.
happen.
I've never experienced that when I
Yeah.
had been there. I had never experienced that in my entire life being there, or working there.
Disney, yeah.
And then all of a sudden that one day, I just couldn't believe it.
Was it a guest or an
No,
employee?
an employee.
Oh shoot!
It was in our bathroom that we always
yeah.
go to, and I even went in my truck. Hey, have you guys seen that guy? Like he's in the bathroom. Did you guys ever?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. It was my first time ever having to experience that, and I felt so like weird.
Yeah.
And I felt so like
Because they're trying to make you feel okay with it. That's the problem.
and I wasn't.
Exactly.
I was uncomfortable because I didn't know if he was going through the stalls, and why would he have his wig off?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, what a topic to talk about. Anyways, can we move on?
Yeah. Someone else wants
already-
to know some of the other secrets you have over here at Disney.
Can you go through the list? So we have the chat. We're going to go in the chat right now, and if you can read off the chat.
There's
stuff.
just two. Sam West says, "Let's go. I'm ready." So, you know Sam West?
Huh?
Sam West.
Sam West?
Do you know them?
Do you know them?
Because they seem like they know you.
Yeah. It says John Smith,
Maybe
like
it's
the
just a different
young, like them young.
Oh, no, I don't
No.
know who that is.
No.
Okay, go to the next one.
Lemony Fresh News is a return chatter with us, subscriber. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
They said you got to give us those Disney hidden secrets.
Oh. Oh, what kind of
You got a
secrets?
hidden secret besides the trans one? any Disney hidden
Yeah,
secret?
other than the trans story, but I know I've heard that there's like hidden there's hidden things at Disney, like if you find
like
'cause
hidden like doorways and halls or something.
yeah,
like that.
or restrooms.
Is that
little
true?
Things like that.
There's a lot of underground.
There
That's what
is.
I've heard. I have a big Disney fan that works with me at my regular job, and she used to tell me all the time, and I was just like, "What?" She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like there's like
under the bathrooms and all kinds of stuff. Is that true?
There's some undergrounds because like even over there by the terrace, where the thing goes down, like the over there where Space Mountain's at.
Okay.
yeah,
'Cause you know how the band goes up and goes down.
Uh-huh.
yes,
They got to go somewhere.
yeah."
They're going down. They're going down to the base. Yeah. There are undergrounds there. Yeah.
Have you ever been underground?
Yeah.
So is there
It
anything?
just stinks.
Oh, it
It's
stinks.
hot,
Like
probably.
what?
It's hot and stinks.
Hot and
What does it
sticky.
smell like?
Like sewage.
Really?
Like bad.
Oh, because all the sewage is running around it. Huh? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or what else? I'm like that look. I'm like,
What
what's
else
running around there?
Is there anything crazy going on over there?
Well, you know what? I don't know about that, but there could be, huh? Right? Anything's possible, right? Anything's possible.
I saw something on social media where they said like kids are getting kidnapped and taken underground.
Isn't that something?
Did you see
That's
that on
crazy.
social media? I was like, what the heck? And like
At Disneyland.
kids are disappearing
Well,
and stuff.
think about it. Like, what they used to always expose, like the cartel that, or I hate to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When they come underground, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
can come underground? Things can come underground.
Yeah.
Anything can come. Anything can be dug underground,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So who's to say? I mean, we don't know. We really don't know,
Yeah.
right? But they do have underground.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I used to have to go change somebody underground, or we had to go do something, drop off something for someone underground. There was another area over there by what was that? Was it where the Bears are at, or Thunder Mountain over there by the New Orleans? and stuff around there? There's underground over there too.
Oh, okay.
There's
Wow.
underground. Yeah, there is.
So it's like a back. So it's like a backstage for an auditorium as opposed to a park. Then is that kind of how you would say it is?
Well, there was this one. It was called the Diner, and we used to go. It was a diner underground, and the only thing is that we would only go to that one because it was the only one open late at night. So all the other stuff was like
A whole diner.
A whole diner?
It was a diner.
That's crazy.
Wow,
And
that's
it was a
crazy.
diner, and it was underground.
I would be tripping out.
I
It was
know.
right over there by, like I said, over there by where I told you the Bears or whatever. And so we would go over there and go to the diner. It's the only one that was open, and open till like at least 10.
So it's like a whole world under there.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh,
Now,
Backstage
is it just
that.
exclusive for the employees?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So then we go down, and then we had to pass this tunnel. And it stunk so bad. To even like before you go eat, you just like, oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
my appetite.
Yeah. So it's like we're like, oh,
Wow.
we're gonna hold your breath.
Yeah.
And we just have to walk through there because you can't take a car or cart or nothing. You have to.
Dang,
literally
you would
walk.
never know there's like a whole underground at
Yeah.
Disneyland. I'm
And
like,
even the one, what's that other one place? The one that club. What is it called? I forgot the name of it.
the new Star Wars club, you're talking about that?
No, the one. It's over there by New Orleans too. It's a club that they have a special club when they would have special events.
Okay.
But is it? I think
Is
I
it
went to the
outside- is
one
it
with
outside or
Alice in
inside?
Wonderland.
No, Club 39. Was it? No.
30.
33?
Is
Club
that what it
33?
is?
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's funny because when they would have events there, we could not see anything of the event at all.
Huh.
It was private.
Oh, shit.
It was.
There's some weird shit
Were
going
they
on.
like private events for
well,
certain people?
yeah.
They're all dressed up as Mickey or something.
Oh,
Doing
oh
some
my
weird-
gosh.
like princesses.
Oh no.
Like, whoa.
I can't imagine.
Damn, I bet you we can't imagine. That's the thing.
Yeah, I
Which is probably a good
know.
thing.
Kuma,
You know what I'm
Kuma
saying?
Matata.
Sheesh.
There's probably some weird stuff going up
No,
in there.
it was because I remember one time we did a special event during
Diddy
Halloween.
parties
No.
going on in there.
There was like
Disney
Hey,
Disney
no
edition.
Diddy, man. No Diddy.
Disney edition. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh, shit. You never got to see anything? You ever hear anything?
No. So this is one time we did a special event, and I thought it was kind of weird that we could not come down for nothing, like literally nothing. But we had to get certain people ready. But like other events, we were able to like peek through, see through. There was events that we couldn't actually do. That one I thought that was kind of strange because what they do is when they have special events, that's when they close the park to the public. And it's usually during like off season, stuff like that.
Is there an off season with Disney? The parks?
There used to be. I don't know if there still is
I
now,
know.
but there was like maybe during like
Yeah.
off seasons, like after September, then it goes like January to maybe January, February.
I'm like, I feel like it's always open. There's always a birthday. There's always a holiday, something. You know what I mean? Going on. Summer break.
Yeah, right. No, I think there was. Well, all I know is in my time there was like a lot of events, and there was events at night because they would close the park at a certain time, and then we would have special events.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of them.
They do. I know they do like the Oogie Boogie. They had the Oogie Boogie event one time. Those usually are like separate events, but those are for like everyone that has a pass, And then they have the Lovers Night or something in February.
Oh, really?
They have those, yeah.
Yeah. So
The
Sweetheart Night or something. I think.
Shout out to the Mindful Journey says she knows some stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
There's a secret fraternity for
Yeah.
Disney.
Are you
Yeah.
in a secret fraternity?
Secret society.
right. And there's so many groups in there.
Right.
Yeah. So that was probably one that kind of made me think like, why
There's weirdness going on.
Yeah, like made me think like, why can't we see? Like
Oh.
really?
Like, let me in.
Yeah,
That's where
well,
the instincts
well,
come
because
in.
There was
Trust your gut.
like with some events, you're able to do stuff like that. You're able to go get a plate, or because you're part of the production and stuff like that. For some reason,
They're probably running around naked and all that.
well, I don't know. Like, what was
my
the whole
gosh.
point of not letting us see?
Yeah.
We were like looking down, trying to see. You couldn't see nothing.
Huh.
So, and it was very, very, very private. And they do have privates on that club. What do you call it?
Wow.
And it's a lot of money to be in that club.
So it's a separate
lot of-
membership.
Yes.
Oh shit.
It's a very. You never knew about that one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, look it up. Oh yeah, afterwards look it up.
Club 33. You said.
Yeah,
that what we said?
it's a private. It's private, and you have to pay a lot of money to be on that club.
Mm.
And they have
I
people.
wonder if they still have it now.
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think they'll.
It's probably tripled since
oh
then.
yeah. Oh heck yeah. Even Michael Jackson had one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm look into that, guys.
Now we know what's going on.
Yeah, separate membership.
I seen him in I think it was in 1997, 98.
Wow.
And the way that he had to come in, he has to come through the back, like everything couldn't come to the park. Everything out through the back with an actual one of those big old trucks, the big what are those?
Yeah.
SUVs, big ones, and he would come in with his all his security and some kids too. But
Yeah.
and they would just come drive and they would go through the back entrance of anything. Like they couldn't just go through the park.
Going to the back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
No.
Anyways, I always walk into stuff like that. I gotta stop. Even though I mean well. Anyways,
How long were you at Disney?
Since 90 in the 90s or mid 90s.
Oh, wow.
In the 90s all the way until
that's crazy.
2020.
We went way over. We're gonna close out, but before we close out, is there anything you want to address to our audience? Any final words? Any inspirational thoughts? Anything?
Inspirational thoughts. Life is hard right now. And I believe that all of us should just stay focused, stay strong, know that everything you do is a process. Anything you do in life has process. And just be safe out there. Right now, the world is really kind of going a little crazy. I see so many things. And don't look too hard into the violence of things that are taking place in our world, but to be hopeful that things will change, and hoping is opening up the atmosphere for change. Just know that when you hope, that you're opening up the portals of the atmosphere for change. Change will happen, and things can get better. and we're being hopeful that things will be
It
better.
will.
They will be better. So, but that's all I gotta say, because I mean, even myself, I mean, I went from like I said, from COVID to losing my job of 26 years. That was a big detachment for me. I should have been mourning, but I wasn't. I went and did a movie. Homeless, broke, busted, but still got my pension, invested in it, and made a movie. And I did.
respect that.
And I wrote my script on my phone. I had no computer, so my script came from my phone. All my pension, my 26 years went into my movie, Sam's Cry, and with no regrets. No regrets. I'm glad this story's out.
That's awesome. That's
it.
awesome.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. How was your experience?
Great. I
was
love
great.
it. Love all the sound effects.
Our slogan is "Shed the Sheep." So on 3, we're gonna look at this camera and say "Shed the Sheep." Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Shed the sheep. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
It's Melanie. Ew.
And your name right here on here.
Angel Rae.
Right here on the mic.
Oh, Angel Rae.
We appreciate you coming on. It was a
Yes,
great
thank
interview.
you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody. We have another show at 7 and then another one at 8:15. Peace. We're out. Peace.